Hey there, we've got a new and fairly, I don't know, random steel today. It's not super commonly used. It's, I assume, a bit on the newer side. It's called Vanadis 4. And this is in a zero tolerance 0180 fixed blade knife. This is a Hinderer designed, like, first responder kind of knife, made for really hard use, sort of hard wearing tasks. It's a big, thick G10 handled little beastie, blade of about 4.5 inches long, saber ground. Looks a little bit thick behind the edge, so it's probably not going to pass through the rope as easily, but I'm confident the cutting edge has been work sharped, taken the work sharp very, very well. No worries at all. So it is still very, very sharp. It's just when you cut with it, probably going to feel as sharp because they are a little bit wide, which is for strength, I guess, as well. So just on Vanadis 4, I'll just go into the knife app and just tell you about it. Vanadis 4 Extra, this one is. There is also just a Vanadis 4. So this is a Bowler PM steel. In small knives and folders, it can reach 66 to 67, and its performance is just superb. At lower hardness, it still outperforms lots of popular alloys. If corrosion resistance is not a concern, one of the best choices for knives. Very few custom makers use it. At 60 HRC, someone made a knife out of it. It had a lot of unrealized potential, something. So yeah, it's proprietary equivalent, Crucible CPM 4V as well. So very similar to that, it says on Crucible's 4V page. So sorry about the longer intro, I just thought I'd go into this steel a little tiny bit more. So what it sounds like is that it's a higher edge retaining version of 3V that may not be as absolutely crazy tough. So still a very tough tool steel type steel, but definitely more aimed at edge retention rather than, you know, that supreme toughness, which, I mean, 3V doesn't struggle with edge retention either, in my opinion. So very interested to see how this one does. Let's get to it. Rules of the tests. As always, if this is the first one you're watching, I put a 20-degree on each side microconvex bevel on the absolute edge of this knife, and then I cut this rope. This is twisted sisal rope. I didn't realize it was made of cactus. Did you know that? Agave cactus fibers make this twisted sisal rope. So we cut that until the knife no longer slices paper with its absolute edge, like nice and, oh, this paper's wet, sorry. It's been raining, this paper's a bit damp too, but until it no longer does like super nice, easy slices. Sorry, wet paper, I have to get some more stuff. It's super. Anyway, let's get the test going. Enough talking. Well, that was the most uncomfortable cut test I've ever done. That was just, my usual grip just did not work with that knife. Plus it is, as I suspected, a bit thicker behind the edge. That's still a pretty sharp edge, but it stopped slicing the paper, so it's like good working sharpness, I guess, which is probably what they're after. 225, so it's an increase in 3V. Not a huge increase, but an increase nonetheless. Probably comes down to them, I would suggest, with a hard use sort of field tack kind of knife like this, I'd probably lower the Rockwell maybe down to 60. 225 cuts, nothing to snort at in your fixed blade knife that, you know, is supposed to be used for hard jobs. But man, that handle, this, I guess I'll cover this in the review. This is a good thing to do when you review knives. Cut repetitively with them, because this portion of the, I'm just trying to get that to focus. So this portion of the handle here, massive hot spot when you're just trying to like press cut against stuff. So this worked for a little bit, but then this has got a bit of a swedge on it too, so that hurt the old finger. If I could have just cut like in a hammer grip like this, I probably could have stood up and got into it, but it's just not comfortable for me. So yeah, my usual rope cutting grip, which is like this, so like I sort of pinch around the knife and push, whew, not comfortable at all. But yeah, it seems like a really well made and well built knife, but yeah, that handle was not ideal for that specific job. That feels fine, but wow. Anyway, back to the steel. So yeah, as the description said, sounds like it's a 3V, more geared towards edge retention. Yeah, it's held a good edge, so that's good for a tool kind of working steel for sure. That's also supposed to have a lot of toughness, so 225 is nothing to snort at all. I was expecting maybe a little bit more, but then I was really pushing that towards the end, and yeah, that's quite far from paper slicing sharp now. Like it's you could kind of get it to do it if you really held it up. Yeah, still super sharp at the back, but yeah, once you get to the point, this is how you see the point I was using. Once I'm there, it doesn't do anything. So from there to there, 225 cuts, Vanadis 4. Thanks for watching, dudes. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.